Hello and welcome to my craft room. My name's Dawn and I'm making videos as I work my way through the many projects that I have purchased over the years. And this week I wanted to talk to you about a very special project that I've been working on. I've been doing this quilt now for I think about 2 years. I bought the pattern knowing exactly who I wanted to give it to, and then started work. And now I can share it because they got married, and this was their wedding present. So the video I'm just going to show you now is the quilt, the finished quilt, out in the garden because it is quite big, and so I'll just share that with you, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. This quilt has been a real labour of love, and I've learnt so much from doing it. The pattern is Gossip in the Garden, and it's by Hatched and Patched, and the pattern had everything in it, and there's a lot of applique in this. There's a bit of English paper piecing, and a bit of patchwork, but I've really enjoyed doing it, and sometimes I've put it off for a while because the next stage I just think, oh my goodness, that's a bit too much for me, but I've managed it and I've completed it. So it's mainly been done with material from my stash. I did buy some bits and pieces just to fill it out, and obviously I had to buy the backing. And the backing is this tiny little flower, and then the binding I chose to pick out the flower in the back there. So Sophie and Matt have been together for a long time. Sophie is my niece, and she very much loves a cup of tea. She does like, in her words, a delish cup of tea, and she's passionate about gardening, even though they live in an apartment which is on the 10th floor in London. Their balcony is full of plants, to the extent that Matt has banned her from putting any more plant pots out there in the fear that it might collapse. But so when I saw this quilt pattern, I thought that it was just so fitting for them, and I wanted to do something special that would become an heirloom, I hope. And some of the actual wording on this quilt really sums them up. So I'm just going to show you a few bits of it. So this one says, "There's nothing sweeter than a fresh pot of flowers," and it's in a jug. So that was all appliqued on. This bit here says 1 teaspoon of sugar or 2, where if it's Sophie, it's 2. Matt, by the way, doesn't drink tea, he just drinks black coffee, but he's going to have to go with this one. Then we've got some patchwork pieces that have been done there, and some more bits there. And then there's this panel here, which says, "The birds sang their morning song as the kettle started to boil." Birds on there. And this one, "A bee had a swim in her cup of tea." And then there's some English paper piecing. So there's a bit of Dresden plate in there. I do quite like this sunflower on its tall stem. A bit more piecing. It's really heavy. And the centre panel here says, "Their friendship revolved around cups of tea and gossip in the garden." So again, all appliqued on. I think one of my favourite panels was this one. It says, "A different cup of tea for every day of the week." Again, all appliqued on. This bit here is all English paper piecing hexes. And this one, "And the weeds grew wildly in the old teapot." But every time you look at the quilt, you see something different. Well, I don't, because I know every stitch in this quilt. But I have let my sister-in-law see as it's progressed. And every time she looks at it, she sees something different on it. So I really, really hope that they like this. And finally, I just put, if I can find it, I put a label on it. So here we go. "Sophie and Matt wedding day, 25th of April 2026, handmade with love by Auntie Dawn." So I just wish them both a really, really happy marriage. The wedding was beautiful. And I just wish them every luck for their future. So a little bit different today, but I just wanted to share that with you because they are a very, very special couple. Keep crafting, and I will speak to you all next week, and hopefully have something else to finish. And now I've finished this quilt, I will have a bit more time to do some of the other things that are in my craft room, but I couldn't tell you that because this was a big surprise. If you want to continue following me on this journey, please subscribe to my channel. My videos do come out at 10 o'clock on a Thursday every week, and you can also follow me on Instagram, where I give more daily updates on what I'm working on, and the details are at the end of this video. Happy crafting, and I'll see you next week.